Hey, welcome to Encouraging Words from the Coast. This is Pastor Greg Weiss from Lewis Presbyterian Church. Hope you are enduring along with everything that's going on in our world these days, and I hope that you're encouraged as you tune into the devotions. I was gone last week to see my new grandson, so that was exciting to see a new little baby, but I'm glad to be back with you. And I just wanted to make a few comments today about we're diving back into the book of Daniel on Sunday mornings. And, as our world is sort of topsy-turvy and a little crazy right now, I think a lot of people are worried and concerned. And as I look at the book of Daniel, I find comfort. I find comfort in seeing how God has spoken through Daniel and even through Nebuchadnezzar that God is involved in history. He began history in Genesis, but he's also bringing it to a conclusion. This coming Sunday, I'm preaching on the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, and in this dream, Nebuchadnezzar dreams of this big statue that represents the great empires of the world that will go through time, beginning with the head of gold, which represents Babylon, and then the Persian Empire, and then the Greek, and then the Roman, and finally the final Roman Empire. And at the end, a boulder cut out of a mountain will topple them all and establish the new kingdom of heaven. And Nebuchadnezzar's amazed that Daniel's able to tell him what the dream was and what it meant. But what it means to us is that history is coming to a conclusion. History is headed in the direction that God desires for it to go, which means that in the not too distant future, I think, we've been through all these empires, but God has promised that he's going to establish his kingdom here on the earth, that Christ is going to return and rule over the world. And, as a Christian, when I see all the chaos around us now, I look at that and I say, yeah, but God's in control and he has a plan, and he's going to see that things go in the direction that he wants them to do and then to go in spite of all that, in spite of all the craziness and the anarchy that seems to be going on in our world today. God has not forgotten us. He's firmly in control, and he has a plan for what he wants to do. So as Christians, we look around at the world around us, but we also, on the other hand, we hold our Bibles and we read them and we say, yes, God is at work. And he's working his will, even through the chaos, even through some of the stuff that we find frightening. God is at work, and he's accomplishing his purposes. And for us as Christians, we want to be a part of whatever God's doing. And I think God's purpose has always been to redeem humanity for himself. For those who will turn to him, to those who will yield themselves to Christ, God's plan is that he uses us to bring lost people into his kingdom. Through his word and through his Holy Spirit. So I hope you're encouraged, even though things are a little crazy right now in our world. I hope that you'll look to the Lord and look to him for hope and count on him that he's got history, he's got everything that's going on in the world completely under control, and that he's leading things towards a conclusion in which his son returns to redeem this world. So I hope you're encouraged. I hope that you'll tune in on Sundays. And if you're not going to tune in, you know what? You could actually show up because we have live worship as well at 8, 9:15, and 11. We just had our first worship service this past Sunday, and we're going to do it again. And we figured out a way to do it that's safe and sanitary. So I hope you'll come if you can. If you are still at risk, by all means, stay at home and tune in through the computer or through the audio on the website of Lewis Presbyterian Church. Thanks for joining us.